Hey guys, Brickyo here, and today we're finally going to build up the alleyway marketplace that I've sort of referenced in like every video on the city, but it hasn't really been built up. You can see I've sort of laid out some things really roughly, but in this video we'll hopefully try to start building it and add some more detail. So where it's located is sort of right next to the tea shop and in between the downtown diner. Chen's Noodle House is sort of dips out into the back of it over here. This space is empty for now. There's some parts that maybe I'll use in the market on it right now, but yeah. And it sort of just fills up the space between Borg Tower and like the rest of the grid. Oop, I ripped. It's kind of an odd shape, but its kind of main purpose is to just get the grid back because Borg Tower is 1.5 times the size of everything else. So yeah, so my plans for this are kind of, as you can see, I have like a main sort of central sidewalk built out there, and then there's also a path kind of branching. I'm thinking this sort of square is going to be a little magic shop, and I want to use primarily purple, using these windows from the night bus, and I can have, this kind of just gives me a space to have a bunch of Harry Potter references. Maybe I'll have some Harry Potter minifigures inside. They'll be inside because the flesh tones and the yellow tone, the yellow skin of every other minifigure don't really blend. I don't know. I think it looks weird. So they can be there, but they'll be inside the building where they'll be there, but you won't really be able to see them. So yeah. And then right here I have this little sort of kind of advertisements and this little string of lights from the Ninjago City Chase set, and a couple elements from, that's from that same set, and that's from Gamers Market. We might be putting some other things from Gamers Market in here. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else, but we'll just kind of see what happens. I do have these kind of lantern builds that I want to use, as well as kind of that same thing but in like a string light form, and I want to just sort of have those kind of hang over. So yeah, I don't really, beyond that, I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to get building. There won't be any time lapses because I kind of just want to free build this, so we'll just cut to that now. So I built up a little bit of the magic shop right here. I got kind of this effect going around that, I mean, I have used before in the city, but just sort of the sort of level at the bottom where sort of the finish is wearing off and there's just kind of the exposed brick underneath, and I think it works really well here. Then I actually had these windows flipped out, but then I flipped them in and I kind of like it. Especially with these round white bricks in the middle. I don't know. It just gives it a little bit of depth, and I like that. It definitely looks worse from the inside, but that's okay because it's the inside and it won't be seen most of the time. So I also started experimenting with putting just some 1x reddish brown tiles for kind of like floorboards. And I really like that look, except that this is pretty much all of that piece that I have. Which, yeah, so that's not going to work. It would be simple enough just to, get the amount to fill the space, and that wouldn't be that expensive. Except that, well, as I'm recording this, I'm leaving for college in like a week, so I don't really want to like order any parts because the chances of them actually coming before I leave are pretty low. If I ordered them from Bricklink like tonight, maybe, but maybe not, and that would just kind of stink. So I think I'm going to do something else for the floor, but definitely in the future, maybe I'll come back and do this. And that kind of goes for this whole build. Anything I do will kind of have to be just with the parts that I have right now. I can order stuff, but then I don't really know when the next time I'll actually be able to finish that project is. So I'd rather just kind of finish it, or try to finish things with the stuff that I have. So yeah, so I'll probably just fill it in, see if I have enough just like brown plates, and do that for now, just so the color's spot on. But yeah, that we'll see what happens. Oh, and that night bus sticker is intentional. I'm just sort of thinking of it as like a license plate that you might see like on the wall of like a bar or something. I don't know. I kind of wanted to throw that in there just because this is the Harry Potter area, so it kind of makes sense. So I kind of have done a lot since the last segment, but here is sort of the completed magic shop. Obviously it might change in the future, but I'm pretty happy with this exterior for right now. I'll take it out in a second. I did just want to point out that I had to remove the sort of light that was on the side of the tea shop. You can see the exposed studs on the side right there, and that was just to accommodate the fit, because this roof kind of goes off. But I think I got it to work, and I think if the base plates are perfectly lined up, they actually don't touch. So yeah, and then also kind of the roof of Woo's Tees hangs over. So it's a little cramped up there, but I think it kind of works out. And it does give this really, really narrow alleyway, which maybe I'll have to do something with that. Yeah, I don't know. I could put a minifigure like on their side, kind of sneaking through there. Maybe a Sons of Garmadon member or something. Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, and then I did kind of have to I had to push the lights here out 2 studs to accommodate the roof overhang. But yeah, I really like how this turned out, and it fits in the city, so I'll pull it out and kind of show it off in closer detail. So here it is, sort of separated from everything. You can see I went for more of a white color scheme up top. This roof technique was sort of inspired by the 2010 Hagrid's Hut. And yeah, I just think it works really well. Kind of a simpler technique, and it took me a while to sort of get the math right, but it kind of works out. Though the line right here is a little kind of messy, but I think it's okay. If you're looking at it from the top, it's kind of hidden by the these slanted pieces. So I think it works out okay. I put a little torch by the door. Yeah, and then what this does is you can open it up by sort of doing that. The one in the front kind of runs into the door, so it doesn't go completely up, but it's close enough. And there's just room on the inside. I'm not really sure what I'll put up here. Maybe just an apartment or like a storeroom for the shop downstairs, or it will just be also part of the shop. You can see the staircase there. And if I pull off this floor, the base plate isn't heavy enough yet. Pull it off, it's only connected by 4 studs. There's the lower floor. I did add some dark brown plates down here to kind of just give some variation in the floor color. And there's that that was part of a polybag, a little like potion stand from a polybag from 2010, I think. There'll definitely be more detail in here eventually, but I don't know, just as a start, I kind of did that. And I think it looks really good. Yeah, the bottom just has a giant tan plate, which is fine. But yeah, that's kind of it for sort of the structure of the magic shop portion. And yeah, I think kind of the next thing to do would be to cover up the plates and stuff, or the green here. I'm not really sure what color I want to do that in. Probably, maybe like a tan, although I don't know that I have a lot of tan. Kind of make it like sand. Maybe a mix of like tan and dark tan. Maybe that would work. I'm not sure. But I will come up with something and come back. All right. So I went with sort of a mix of dark tan, big plates, and then regular tan plates to kind of fill in areas. And what I'm thinking is that I'll sort of have like individual booths sort of in the dark tan areas, and then the light tan areas are kind of to like separate the plots, maybe. But also I do kind of want it to feel crowded, so I might end up sort of just not caring about that. But I think, or maybe just stuff like this where it sort of overhangs, but mostly, yeah, that looks good. The weapon stand kind of got destroyed in the process of doing this, so I'm going to have to fix that. Yeah, but I think I've done a lot of great work on this. The two base plates are now stuck together by these larger tan plates, so those are not coming off anytime soon. I did have to use a hammer to get all this down. Little rubber mallet. I suggest you get one if you build MOCs where you tend to do this. But yeah, I think all that I'm going to do now is sort of rebuild it to where I have kind of my placeholder items maybe kind of installed, partially installed, and then I'll call it good on this part because I do have a lot of cleaning up to do. So yeah, I think this will be good. Well, I kind of went a little overboard, more than I was expecting to, but here we are. So you come in and look down. I have all of these string lights over. I even added this thing, which was from the Dorado Showdown. That's an Overwatch set. I added these little kind of poles. I raised them up with two just round bricks. So they're kind of, the tassel is like a little above minifigure height now. So minifigures can still sort of walk underneath them without it being weird. I added some food to the dot market stand, fish, and then some cherries. I sort of repurposed the kind of center section of the Gamers Market set to sort of be a collectible place. I have some of the trading cards and then a Starfarer comic on there. They're attached to the handles of the megaphone pieces. They're not all the way clipped on. It's not really a legal connection, but I'm just going to go with it because, I mean, they won't move much. And then I thought I'd put Scott there. Just, I don't know. It kind of worked. I liked it. Maybe this is what he's doing now that he is out of Prime Empire or something. And then you can see the back of Okino here. I took off the giant saw blade on the top because it was a little excessive, I thought. But yeah, Okino's running the weapons shop there. It's pretty much the same, except the saw blade isn't on it anymore. Oh, and I also removed the Prime Empire sign and just did that, which is teal in the same color. And I think it looks pretty nice, actually. Then here I put the item market stand. I twisted Zane's head around just so it's more of a costume than a person standing there. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. I just thought it fits the space well, and that kind of works as a little display that will be kind of facing the main sidewalk. So I like that. Then I just had some barrels and bins and things, so I put a bunch of bread in and some more fruit over there. I still have a little space in here, which I think might probably just be more containers with food in them. I'm not really sure yet. And then obviously I have some more spaces along here. And I could even cram things in this space too. But that will be another day. Yeah. And that probably won't happen for a while because as I'm recording this, I'm still at home. But when this video's out, I will be in college, not at home. So, yeah. I'm recording this in advance just because. And so don't expect a part 2 anytime soon because I'm not home to build anything. But it'll happen. Just maybe it might be a couple of months. So yeah. I guess let's just go put it in the city now. So here it is in the city, right next to the downtown diner and the tea shop. I did add Mr. E in the alleyway. Nice and ominous, nice and creepy. I like it. You go in, and I just really like this look right here. I don't know, it's just really nice. Okino's hair is barely fits in there. It actually goes out to the back quite a bit, which I didn't really realize, but yeah, it doesn't touch the diner, so that's good. Yeah, but I really like how this looks. I did change the color of the tiles in the back of Chen's Noodle House just to match. They were originally tan, but I just made them gray to match the sort of sidewalk system, and I think that works out really nicely. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this and you're new, please consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.